Click enforce streaming service encoding settings. Rescale output. This is very, very, very important. I want you to listen. Do not stream on Twitch in 1080p. As much as somebody's going to tell you that 1080p looks better, it does not look better on Twitch because, let me tell you, because there are certain bit rates that you need in order to keep up with your resolution and to keep up with your frame rate. So if we're doing like 1080p 60 or even 1080p 30, it just will not look good at the 3500 max bitrate that Twitch allows. If you're streaming somewhere like YouTube where, you know, they allow upwards of 10,000 bitrate, then, you know, you can experiment with 1080p 30 or 1080p 60, but just understand the higher the resolution and frame rate, the higher your bitrate needs to be. So at a cap of 3500, 720p 30 is going to look best. 720p 60 is going to look more fluid, but it's going to look a little bit more pixelated. You can decide if you're going to use a custom buffer size or not. I guess it depends on how stable your internet is. At a cap of 3500, I don't currently use one. Keyframe interval is going to be 2. We're going to go ahead and use a CBR. CPU preset. Okay, so this is very dependent on your CPU. Default is very fast, and that's going to look great. If you have a really nice computer and you just can afford the extra CPU usage, you're going to want to go ahead and bump it down. The slower it is, the more crisp it looks. That's not going to make too much of a difference. Bitrate, honestly, is king here, but very fast is going to look fine. If you have, you know, if you're on the struggle bus with a older CPU, you can switch up to super fast or ultra fast, but again, like I said, it's going to look really pixelated. So with the profile, we're going to go on main. Tune, we can just go ahead and leave that on none. I've never really messed around with that. So with X264 options, you're going to go ahead and type in OpenCL equals true. And what that's going to do is it's going to open up your GPU to load your stream. You can just leave it. It doesn't really matter. Helps me on the end of things because on my streaming PC, I have a really nice graphics card in there and I don't touch it. So any little bit of help I can get, I use it. So let's go ahead and hop over to record. I selected that after messing around a little bit and understanding what was good for my setup, what was good for my hard drive space, what was good for my CPU usage. So 7 is a pretty good sweet spot. I also have a 5960, so it just depends on, you know, what you're able to work with. I know you guys probably think I'm crazy with 1000 bitrate, but just listen. The CRF is basically going to push your computer to pull as much bitrate and keep the quality as high as possible as long as it can. So the lower the CRF, the harder it's going to push your computer. If you make the number higher, like a 2025, you're going to get smaller file sizes, not as good of quality. So you can go ahead and mess with that and figure out what's good for you. The CPU preset doesn't matter as much as it did on the streaming tab. Ultra fast is what I use, which is just the fastest. Profile, high. And then again, I have my 264 options on OpenCL equals true so that it can get a little bit extra help from the GPU. And now we can hop on over to audio. Audio, again, is going to be different for everyone. I don't want you guys to just copy and paste this because, like I said, it's going to be different for everyone. I have different tracks for every different audio input that I have. The one that's going to be going out to the stream, you can just leave it on 192. That's all that's going to be utilized. For your recording tracks, it's not a dumb idea to bump it up to 320 to just give yourself that extra audio quality. But other than that, that's pretty much going to be it for the streaming and recording quality. I hope that I was able to help you guys out. Like I said, it's really, really dependent on what CPU you have. I have dedicated encoding PCs, so my settings are probably a little bit higher than what yours can be, but I hope that I was able to help. I know a lot of people just mess around with solely bitrate, and there's so much more than that, so I hope that you were able to learn. If you did, feel free to leave a thumbs up, and I want to say thank you guys so very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.